40, 50, 60 years to life. That's justice. Again, no matter money, we can't bring them back. We were very honored to that God allowed us to have a body for the funeral. So that was some closure for sure. But justice is really putting a demand on fairness and equality for all people, regardless of sexuality or gender or expression.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the case that has been heavy on Mississippi, heavy on the Ole Miss community, and honestly, heavy on a lot of hearts for years now. Sheldon Timothy Herrington has officially pleaded guilty to the murder of Jimmie J. Lee, and the judge has sentenced him to 40 years in prison. I want to talk through what happened, how we got here, and what this means for everybody involved. So, and plus, side note, I know it's been a minute that I've done a video. My last video about the church, it got a lot of views. Thank you for the love and the support and the comments and the likes and all of that. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. So if you're new here, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, if you're new here, I'm a type of person that like to go through notes that I've set up so I can remain focused and get the news out about the topic I'm talking about. So, yeah. So, let's start with the update that shocked a lot of people. WJTV reported that Herrington pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and tampering in the connection to Jay Lee's death. And that's a big deal because this case has been dragging on since 2022. Delays, hearings, and back and forth, and no real closure for the family. This guilty plea happened right before sentencing. After years of maintaining innocence, he stood in court and admitted what happened, and that moment alone sent waves across the state. So, he done said we had to say. You know, he pleaded guilty. It's been a long time coming. It's been like 3 years because this happened in 2022. So it's been a long time coming with this. Once the guilty plea was entered, the court moved straight to sentencing. Herrington received 40 years in prison for the murder of Jay Lee. Second-degree murder doesn't carry a mandatory life sentence, but 40 years is basically the rest of his adult life. And the tampering charge was added on because of the attempts to hide or destroy evidence. So yeah, he got the tampering charge because the way he discarded of the remains. So yeah, he got that charge too.
In Madison County, Mississippi, a surprising development in the high-profile case and retrial of Sheldon Timothy Herrington, Jr., the man accused in the death of University of Mississippi student Jimmie J. Lee. Herrington entering a guilty plea to second-degree murder and tampering in connection to Lee's death. Lee disappeared in July of 2022 on his mother's birthday. He was just 20 years old and a member of Oxford's LGBTQ+ community, and a Jackson native whose disappearance sparked months of searching and vigil held by fellow students, friends, and family.
I'm always thinking about him, but it gets deep sometimes where, you feel like you're falling apart just thinking about he's not here.
Weeks after Lee vanished, Herrington, an Ole Miss graduate from Grenada, was arrested. Prosecutors say he killed Lee to conceal a romantic relationship. He went to trial in December 2024 and at that time pleaded not guilty and maintained his innocence while his family supported him.
I know the type of young man he is. He does not have it in him to kill anyone.
His first trial ended in a mistrial because the jury was unable to reach a verdict.
I think after 9.5 hours of deliberation, if it doesn't, just my reading of the jury, I think we were hopelessly deadlocked.
People were kind of shocked at the outcome, a mistrial, a hung jury, and how seemingly there was a person who's going to get away with something that a lot of people seemingly feel like he shouldn't get away with. So a lot of people are disappointed, I would say.
Now, nearly 3 years after Lee disappeared, and on the first day of jury selection, when Lee's family, the community, and the accused were set to face the courtroom again, a guilty plea, possibly bringing some closure.
Like I said, I pray that God will reveal that through whatever means necessary, by whomever that He puts it in their heart to say, I gotta go ahead and talk.
So before we go any further, I want to honor Jay Lee. Jay was a bright, joyful, expressive young person, a student at Ole Miss, a child, a friend, someone with dreams, with style, with personality. Their graduation pictures still break my heart because you can literally see the joy. You can see someone excited about their future. Jay deserves safety, love, and protection. Jay deserves to grow old, and that's why this case hit so many people so deeply. And just by his pictures alone, he looked like a bright, joyful person. Like he was full of light. I didn't know him, but he just looked like he was just so full of life and had his whole life ahead of him. The whole situation is painful in multiple directions. A young black queer life was taken. A young black man threw his life away. Two families are destroyed. A community has been grieving since 2022, and honestly, nobody wins. This is the kind of tragedy that leaves scars that don't fade. So, two lives gone, one is deceased, and one threw his life away. And for what? Just because you was DL, you didn't want to express who you are. You didn't want to come out the closet, so you decided to take a life. And it's like now everybody know. And it's crazy that it got to this point. But I don't want to go on a tangent, so let me go back to my notes. I'm going to be honest, this one it's real heavy for me. As a black man, it hurts seeing two young black lives end in a tragedy like this. One gone forever, and one spending decades behind bars. And I just want to say, I'm not showing no sympathy to the Timothy Herrington person. Like, I'm just speaking generally. Like, as a black man, it just hurts to see, someone go down that path and just throw their whole life away. And it hurts even deeper knowing Jay was a part of the LGBTQ plus community. Queer black youth already deal with so much and they deserve protection, not violence. What happened to Jay should have never happened. And what Harrington did cost him his entire future. So again, like I said, he not showing sympathy, but he threw his whole life away. I don't know his age. I think he's like 25 or something like that. Um, this is heartbreak all around. You can't celebrate this. You can only hope it brings some kind of peace to Jay's family after years of waiting. So, yeah, that's just how I feel about that. And I think that society, we got to do better, especially for our youth, the generation coming up behind us. So, I hope situations like this make us take a step back and think about how important communication is, how important mental health is, how important it is to check on the people around you. So many tragedies start with secrets, anger, fear, and no support system. And that's something we've got to change in Mississippi, in black communities, in the LGBTQ plus spaces everywhere. So we got to do better as a society. We have to have, especially here in the South, Mississippi, from the Sipp, my brand, my name, where I'm from. We got to do better. Like, we are in 2025, finna go into 2026. The world is constantly changing. We have to provide spaces for communication, dialogue, where people can feel safe coming out to somebody, feel comfortable saying, hey, this is who I am. I have these feelings. This is what I want to do. We have to be somebody to, have somebody to vent to and be vented to, if that makes sense. So we just got to do better as a society. I got to do better. I got to be more encouraging to people. That's what I want to do. I want to encourage people to come out the closet and not be DL and not live in the shadows and fear. Just be who you are. And that's the kind of person I want to be. So any man, woman, whoever, if you DL, it's okay to be who you truly are and live your life how you want to live it. So, yeah, back to these notes because I'm starting to rile up, even though this is a serious topic and video. So, yeah. So, with that being said, rest in peace to Jimmie J. Lee's family. Sending love to their family, their friends, and everybody who's been affected by this case. Thank y'all for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments respectfully. And let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see y'all in the next one.